Hey everyone, this is Samir here, and today I'm going to talk about myself, how I changed my industry, how I moved to a new country, and what I do now, specifically about the pre-construction condo sales in Toronto and GTA. And this video is actually meant to inspire some of you who are scared, of changing their jobs, moving to a new country. I hope this video inspires you so you can take the next step just the way I did it in my experience. I'm originally from Azerbaijan. It's a small country between Russia, Turkey, Georgia, Armenia, and Caspian Sea. I was born there in '89, so I studied in high school. At that time, there was an exchange program to go to US and study there. So I used that and I went to US. I studied in Chula Vista, which is a suburb of San Diego. I came back, I got into university. I graduated with bachelor's in economics. And during my studies, I also took another exchange program and studied again in US in Missouri, in Lincoln University for 1 year. After coming back, I started looking into jobs, and since Azerbaijan is predominantly oil exporting nation, the best jobs are in the oil industry or in the industries which serve the oil industry. So financial services is one of them. So you can either work in banking or in big four firms like PwC, KPMG. We have all of those there. And most of the teachers actually at the universities are from those companies, in good universities, I mean. So that's where I ended up. I started with PwC in auditing. So after a while, I realized that this is not my dream job. Going through receipts and financial statements. Like financial statements is more or less interesting, but going through the receipts and then checking all those, usually like you're set into some archives, and you just go through the papers, which is like a year old, and you check if they have all the supporting documents. So that wasn't exciting for me. I realized that I want something more from my career, and all this education for what, right? So it seemed meaningless. And then I moved to corporate finance, and eventually I moved to Russia, to KPMG, and doing business valuations, financial modeling. And this is similar to investment banking in a way, because it's here you're not selling anything, you're just mostly doing the back-end calculations. So that's the part which wasn't actually fun. So after a while, a few sleepless nights, and I realized that the pay is not worth it. So you work like a slave, and you have no personal life, and you come home tired. And that's why I thought, I need to do something else. At that time in Russia, the ruble crashed. So it was like 30 rubles for a dollar, it became like 70 overnight. So at that time, I needed something else to support myself. So I moved to another Turkish company, a Turkish construction company, and I worked there in finance. So my salary was in US dollars, thank God. So the salary was almost quadrupled if you counted on rubles. It was great. So I automatically improved the quality of our lives. For like 4 years, I got so comfortable in that company. I was just enjoying life. And then at the end, I was thinking that, I'm not growing in this company anymore. My salary is good, but it's not growing. I'm not learning anything new, and I didn't like my boss. That was the main reason. He was like pushing me around from one city to another, so I couldn't settle down anywhere. So we were thinking at that time that we should move somewhere else. And we decided to come to Canada. Canada is so far away from Russia. It's like a completely on the opposite side of the world. I think we have like 9-hour time difference, so it's almost like opposite, on the other side. So anyway, so we came here. We have no family here. I do have some friends, so I had some friends from university. My classmates, they were here, so thank God we knew at least like 2-3 people in all of the GTA. So the reason we came to Toronto is mostly because of the weather. Vancouver seemed too rainy and Calgary too cold. Montreal too French. We don't speak French. My wife does a little bit, but I don't completely. So the other option was left was Toronto. So we came here in 2017, February 23rd. I even made a video of how we were landing. You can go back in my videos and watch it if you want. So we came here and I was thinking, I'll probably start off in finance industry because that's where my experience is, and then I will probably transition to something different because I never liked working in finance anyways. But then I realized that once you're here, your experience actually is not very valid because it's still very hard to get the same level of a job you had in your country when you move here. So you have to start from scratch. And at that point, I was like, no, I don't want to start from scratch in finance. So I'd rather start from scratch somewhere else, let's say in sales, because that's what I like. That's what I always wanted to do. I never just had a chance. So now I'm put in this situation where I have to. So it was an opportunity, right? So I took it. I said, okay, I'm gonna go get my license. And meanwhile, I was doing some side jobs, like I was filmed in commercials, in movies, as background character, so it wasn't good pay, but anyways, I was doing something, and I tried to slow the burn, of the cash we brought with us. So my wife got a nice job in marketing, in the field she was always experienced with. At that point, I got my first job at the Bell. I was doing door-to-door sales. It was actually a well-paying job. The salary wasn't high, it was very low, but the commission was very good. Especially it was a progressive commission, so the more you sell, the more you make. That's why, I was doing very well, and I was working there during winter months. And when they announce on TV that it's going to be a hurricane, and everybody should stay home. Environment Canada is like issuing a weather warning, and our team was always looking for these opportunities. We were like, great, we are gonna go out, we're gonna knock on the doors. There will be people at home, so everybody's home. Work is canceled. So we used that as an opportunity for us, and we obviously crushed it. We sold a lot of home internet and TV, and I also sold on the side. There was home security, which wasn't our main focus, but I was still selling it. I became one of the best in Toronto, and I worked there for a few months, and then I got another offer from an international tobacco company, British American Tobacco. They're the market leaders in Canada for selling cigarettes. Most people don't know, but actually a lot of people are smoking here, and it's mostly gas stations and small convenience stores which sell the cigarette products. Now they're also expanding into vaping products. I think now vaping is already, they stopped it. So for some reason, like the government is intervening more. But at that time, vaping was just on the rise. So I sold a lot of vaping products to small retailers, and I was treating these retailers as my friends, and I always thought about them that how can I bring more value to these guys? They're small families, they have almost nothing. All their money is in this small store, and it's usually big tobacco companies. They assign you a territory, so you have, let's say, 100 stores, and you only visit like maybe 20% of those stores, which are the biggest stores, which generate your highest revenue. And you're not actually required to even go much to the smallest stores. But I always went to the even smallest ones, and I always try to improve their business and bring value to them. So I explained them how the vaping works. They can generate more revenue for their business if they introduce few products. And they agreed, and actually it took off. And after even I left, their business was on the rise. My territory was performing one of the best in GTA area. So I left there and I moved into the real estate. I got my license. I started first with a salary position. It's very rare in Canada where you have a real estate and you're paid a salary, but it was a very minimum salary. Believe me, it was like the lowest pay, and you're promised to get a commission, but at that point I didn't get anything, even though I sold a lot of real estate for that company. Anyways, but it was a good experience. I learned a lot about sales of pre-construction there. We had targets, our calls were monitored, we had fingerprint scanner at the entrance, so every step we do was monitored basically. So it was a good learning experience for me. And then I left to another company, already doing this independently, and then COVID hit, so I wasn't doing well as my previous year, and then COVID ended and I joined another team. I worked there for a few months, and then I left them as well, right? So I've moved through different teams, and it's usually one of the best teams actually. All of these guys where I work, they're best of the best, and I learned a lot from them, and I still continue staying in touch with them, and I always recommend people to join their teams. So they're just one of the best guys in the business, right? So after that, I'm just now independent. My recently position is with Page, right? So it's one of the biggest brokerages in GTA. We have, I think, 30,000 agents, and we account for more than 30%, 35% of the all real estate transactions across Canada. So I'm proud to be in that brokerage, and I think they're providing great support and great resources, which we pass on to our clients. But I'm mostly focused on pre-construction, right? So let me tell you a few things about pre-construction so you get an idea what that is. So pre-construction is condos before they are, or homes, or townhouses regardless. So before they are even built, when there is still a plan to build them, developers are offering those for sale. So let's say there will be a 30-story tower in downtown somewhere, and it will be built, let's say, in 5 years from now, right? So you can buy it now with today's market price, and your deposit will be split into, let's say, 2-3 years until the project is finished. So usually you're paying, let's say, 10% in your first year, and then 5% the second year. Sometimes it's 15% in your first year, but it's split into, let's say, 2%, 3%, just basically broken down. And then by the end, it's only 20%, right? So it can take you 5 years to pay this 20%. And then when the project is finished, you can either sell it. It's called an assignment. It's not allowed everywhere, but most developers allow it. And then you can move in there yourself as an end user, or you can rent it out at the end, right? So there's 3 options. Or you can actually do cash out refinance and then use that money to buy something else and grow your portfolio. So that's another thing that a lot of investors are doing. So I focus on these projects for the most part, and I specialize in them. I know a lot of information about the projects, the builders, because there are some builders which never finish their projects. They have bad reputation, quality of work, and some of them offer great incentives. Some projects have additional value because there is additional infrastructure which will be built around it. There are master plan communities, standalone buildings. So there's a lot of information and know-hows about this industry, and I specialize mostly on that. So far, overall, since I joined pre-construction, I've done more than 50 projects where I sold units. And here, this year alone, I have done 14 pre-construction projects, which is a good number. If you look, most on average real estate agents, they, I think, generate 3-4 transactions a year. And then already that's 14 is pretty much a good number. A lot of professional agents which are in this industry for a very long time, that's how much they generate. So what I'm trying to explain is that, I came to this country almost 4 years ago. I didn't have any experience in sales. I didn't have any experience in the real estate. I didn't have a real estate license. I didn't know anyone in Canada except for 2 friends I had here. And now, fast forward 4 years, I'm in a completely new industry for me, and I'm doing it very well. You know, I'm pretty successful in this, and this is just the beginning, right? I'm not even at my peak here, and I'm still learning a lot of things. So that's why you should always try to, pursue your dream and achieve it, even if it seems difficult, even if it seems impossible, or you don't see the next step, which one to take. You should just take one step at a time, and slowly, eventually, you will get there. It might take you a few years, maybe more than a few years, but at the end, the result, it will make you much happier than what you are now, and you will never regret because you tried something different. Another thing is, if you don't try it, you might have regret at the end that, look, what if I tried, and then this removes that question away. So I wish you all guys the best, and keep pushing and stay motivated. And if you'd like to support me in my journey, I'll be recording more videos on real estate. Please subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and have a great day. All the best. Bye.